All right, everybody, welcome back to Beyond Limbs, Amputee Answers and Options. Here we are again today with Christie, and we're going to be talking about being a mom as an amputee.
Yeah.
And probably even being pregnant as an amputee. And all the stuff that I don't know. So I'm just going to ask you, what were the struggles that happened as you became a mom?
Yeah.
As an amputee?
The biggest thing that I had heard from other amputees is not being able to wear your leg. So I was like, okay, so maybe at some point in my pregnancy, I'm just gonna have to be on crutches, but I didn't really know when that would happen. And it happened for me like a month and a half before delivery. And it just swole. And so I was swollen and I couldn't fit in my leg. So I was on my crutches. One thing I didn't realize at the time is how much compensation I was doing on my left leg, to the point that after, and still a little bit now, my daughter's 3, so there's still some recovery with it, but how much compensation with my left leg that I was turning it out to balance, rather than trying to find like equal balance and keeping my muscles in a good form. So that was something that was interesting looking back. I'm like, oh, if I have another baby, then I want to make sure that I can strengthen my leg appropriately. And even my stump, so I was off, so a month and a half before delivery until about 2 months after she was born was when I was off my leg and didn't fit. And so in that time, my stump muscles had also atrophied. And so then my socket wasn't fitting the way that it did before. And so there was that. So looking back, I would do exercises and the strengthening stuff to keep the muscle as much as I could, rather than what I did. So with delivery and going forward, how am I supposed to be carrying a baby and be on my crutches and go around the house and get whatever I needed for the baby? So that was one thing to figure out. And I had read somewhere that a lady in a similar situation put the baby in a sling and then was able to use her crutches. And I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. We even had a little scooter that I could sit on and just scoot myself around with my leg and hold the baby at the same time. So there was just little things like that you figure out at night. My daughter was in her bed next to our bed, and she's crying and needs to get up and be fed. And so I got up, and I don't have my leg on at night, and I picked her up, and I almost fell. And then I was like, okay, now I got to fix this. How do I change this so I'm not stumbling? Yeah, the interesting thing with that, at that point, like, my marriage had ended at that point. So now I am an amputee who's a single mom with a 4-month-old baby.
Okay.
And so
that just complicated things.
It did. It really did. And so I had to just figure it out. And so what ended up happening was I just had her sleep by me for a long time because that was the safe option at the time. And so that's what we did. And looking back, like, I remember in those moments just feeling like it was just a common theme that I had to get over, feeling like I was less of a mom because I couldn't take care of my child the way my sisters could with 2 legs, or my friends could with 2 legs. And so I really struggled with that. But then I remember getting in a dark place. There was that, and my marriage was falling apart at the same time. So it was a mess. But that particular part, I know I've been able to figure everything out thus far in my life. I'm going to be able to do it again. And then just realizing just because I have to carry my child differently doesn't mean that's wrong. I'm still carrying her how I need to. And carrying her, I've carried her always on this side, just the way my leg and everything worked. But it was fine. I still was able to carry my baby. There were times, like with trying to get the leg to fit back and forth, that I'd be carrying her, and because I walked like this rather than just straight, she'd fall out of my arms. But I just had to figure out how to do it again. And just realize that I wasn't less of a mom because of my leg. And that's something that I really had to battle with, just with everything that was going on. But it didn't make me less of a mom to have a prosthetic leg. And I think that would be the most important thing for any mother or a father who's an amputee. Like, you're not less of a parent because of the situation that you're in. Like, that little kid, that baby, doesn't know any different. You may not know any different. If you're a mom and you have an amputee, like, it's fine. And just working with it. And that really is, if that was anything I could like pound home, is just realize the gift that you do offer your children and the things that you can do. Even when my daughter was a newborn, and she didn't always like the sling or the backpack, so I would hold her and I would just scoot from place to place around the house with my foot. And so even then, there was something that you can do. There's always something you can figure out, and there's always something you can do to take care of what you need.
And how about her now as a toddler, chasing her everywhere?
Okay, so this one also, like, I don't run, like we mentioned in the previous one. I don't run. And so one of my biggest fears, but it's a fear for all parents, and I had to realize that, is if she ran out to the road and I can't run and I can't get her. That was my biggest fear, but I let that stop me for a minute. And then I would let my family, like if Chloe needed something quickly, I would sit back and let my family do it. But then I had to realize, no, this is my child. I'm her mom. Get up and move. I can get up and I can move. And so, yeah, there's things where, like, she's figured out, I can outrun mom, I can hide, I can be sneaky and things like that. But then there's these little moments with her. She's 3, I don't know if I said that, but she's realizing, hey mom, you need your crutches, your leg is off, I'll go get your crutches for you. Or, mom, can I help you put your leg on? She just does these little things. So she'll help me put my liner on, she'll pull the belt. And so she's adapted, of course she has, that's her life, right? She's fine with it. And so it's been neat to watch her, just how kind she is. And when it comes to my stump and I have my leg off, she comes up and she gives my stump a hug. And she's, hi, Stumpy. But it's been cool, and it's helped me see myself in a better light too, of just, this is who I am as her mom.
Yeah.
She doesn't see it different, so why should I?
Cool. Last words for the mom out there who's might be struggling, or maybe they're worried about becoming a mom.
Yeah, just one day at a time. One step at a time, literally one step at a time. And talk to your prosthetist. My prosthetist and I didn't realize until after how much my stump had atrophied. It was a mess at that time. But now I see it, so talk to them, communicate with them of, this is what I'm struggling with, this is the swelling, what can I do? And just on a physical side, just move. Keep your body moving in your pregnancy. Towards the end of the pregnancy is hard and you don't want to move, but if you're moving, it's more chances that your leg's going to still fit rather than not. I stopped moving for a little while and my leg stopped fitting. So just move your body. Movement is light, and it helps with so many things.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
And we will have you back again talking about probably your revision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we will see you next time.